topics and opinions expressed in the following show are solely those of the host and their guests and not those of W4CY Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4CY Radio or its employees or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4CY Radio.
Hi, welcome to Learning to Dance in the Rain. And I'm Shelby Wagner, your host. I'm very happy to have you here and hope you enjoy the show. Today, I'm going to be my guest, my own guest, and I had said I was going to be talking about my new book, which is Finding Love Again, A Senior's Guide to Online Dating. And I will be talking about that in a few minutes. I have, that one is my third book. The first one is called Learning to Dance in the Rain. And in that book, I discuss grieving because my husband had passed away. I decided to later, about 6 months, 7 months after, where I was tired of being lonely and so on. But we'll get into that in a minute. Learning to Dance in the Rain came to me because I saw the poem in the beauty shop where I got my hair done every week when I went. And it says, life is not about waiting for the storm to pass. It's about learning to dance in the rain. And that seemed to be a very good saying for me. You know, I've been married 50 years, and anybody that says they're completely happy with their marriage of 50 years, well, God bless them. But, you know, there are times when we disagree. There are times when maybe like after he died and I thought, oh boy, maybe I should have been a better wife. Maybe I shouldn't have argued with him so much. But anyway, so I wrote about grieving, and then I wrote also about improving yourself, finding your self-image. A lot of people, it can say, oh, I'm too fat, or oh, I wish that my hair was a different color, or I wish I could lose this weight, or whatever. So I wrote a little bit about learning to like yourself, love yourself. And then I went into some more questions, trying to find out what it was I wanted to do with the rest of my life. And so that got into, did I want to find a new love, or did I want to stay enjoying the single life? There's both options, you know, and both options are okay. But anyway, so I did go on, and I was successful and so on, and finding someone. And I'm going to talk about that in just a minute. In fact, what I'd like to do is to, I had published the book a couple weeks ago, and then the formatting was wrong, and so I had to take it down. And so I'm working on it again. But I'm going to read probably the introduction, and maybe the first chapter. We'll see how we get into that. But before I do that, I have some things to catch up on from last week. And one of those was we had several questions about soulmate. What is a soulmate? And so I did a little research. I said at the time, you know, I never really thought about the word soulmate. I guess 50 years into marriage, I guess I married my soulmate. So I thought, okay, well, it was time to find out exactly what I could find out about the word soulmate. And so this morning, I looked in Wikipedia on the computer. Does it mean? What does the word mean? And here it said several things. Soulmate is a person ideally suited to another person as a close friend or romantic partner. I think, okay, they had given me some synonyms or other words that were similar, like companion, a bosom friend, a best friend, confidant, alter ego, shadow, playmate, playfellow, classmate, schoolmate, workmate. Well, when I thought of a soulmate, yeah, I guess those words could describe that soulmate. But I thought it was a little bit more than that. So I decided to do some more searching. Another definition I found was a soulmate is a person with whom one feels a deep or natural affinity. This affinity may involve similarity, love, romance, comfort, intimacy, sexual activity, spirituality, compatibility, and trust. The idea of soulmate is found in Judaism and in Hinduism religions, but it was popularized in the 19th century religion and modern age, New Age philosophy. And so I think Pastor Carl mentioned that he had counseled a man who had a soulmate who was not his wife. And if you think of some of these, or he decided that the man really wanted his approval that he could have two separate people, a soulmate and a wife. And I think we both question that. But if you take that first meaning, it's a person who's very close to you or has been a good friend, but you have met someone else that you love more, and you marry them. Well, that's okay. But I'm not sure how that wife is going to feel about having a soulmate into a friend. And when I talk in terms of woman, that's because that's what I am. But it's true for a man also, or a woman. But anyway, let's go on. It says in the modern day, soulmate typically refers to a romantic partner, but it can apply to a platonic partner. It implies an exclusive, lifelong bond. It commonly holds the connotation of being the strongest bond that one can achieve with another person. People who believe in soulmates commonly accept that they don't feel complete until they have found their soulmate. This is partially perceived definition that two souls are meant to unite. And the term soulmate says there was a poem, a 16th century poem in Judaism called Yedid Nefesh that became popular due to its customary weekly recital by traditional Jews during their Shabbat meal. It was a means of comfort during the days of wanting moments. The poem refers to or opens as a declaration of love and connection to one's creator. Yedid Nefesh, and I won't even try pronouncing the rest of it, but it means my soulmate, father of compassion. The Hebrew word yedid means close mate or dear friend, and it is first found in the Bible in Deuteronomy chapter 33, verse 12. The Hebrew word nephesh, which is the second word of the title of the poem, means soul, and it was first found in Genesis chapter 2, verse 7. While this poem is known by its opening refrain, Yedid Nephesh, or soulmate, in the 18th century prayer book of Rabbi Jacob Emden, he records its official title as a song of awakening of the soul toward the love of the blessed Hashem. And the Hebrew word, then, as I mentioned, means close mate or dear friend. So in Judaism, Bashart means destined or intended. This term can refer to any destined incident and is particularly used for one's soulmate. According to the Talmud, it is said that 40 days before a male child is formed, a voice from heaven announces whose daughter he is going to marry. And that's how he came up with the match made in heaven. Jewish mysticism speaks of a husband and wife as half souls, and it is said that God takes a soul whose time has come to enter this world and separates it into two halves, placing one half in a male and the other half in the female. And when these two halves meet again in matrimony, then their original connection and love bond returns. I thought that was very interesting. But I went on to read, and I like this, kind of got I don't know, a funny feeling about this. But King Solomon had a daughter. He had lots of them, actually, but who knows? One of his daughters is destined, and he knew that one of his daughters was destined to marry a poor man. So to prevent this from happening, he keeps her locked with servants in the tower of a palace deep within the forest. Talk about being difficult to find a match that way. Anyway, it is said that a bird of prey brought her soulmate to the tower and they fell in love. The story ends with King Solomon realizing that the young man may not be rich, but he is a scholar. So the two halves got together that way. I thought that was very interesting. So soulmate, soulmate. I think my husband of 50 years was my soulmate. But do you only have one soulmate? I don't think so, because I think I have found another to enjoy my rest of my life with. But so anyway, I'm going to get into my book and read the introduction to you, if I may, and maybe a little bit more. So, Finding Love Again, A Senior's Guide to Online Dating by Shelby J. Wagner. Release date, well, will be next week. So, who am I and why am I writing A Senior's Guide to Online Dating? Well, when I was 74, my husband of 50 years died, and I suddenly was a widow. I was not prepared for this. I don't think anybody is, but I was forced to build a new life. I learned to navigate my grief and contemplated my future as a single adult. To make a long story short, I grew tired of being sad all the time and became ready after about 6 months to move forward. While grieving, I did a lot of things by myself. I went shopping. I ate in restaurants by myself. I went to a movie alone. One time I was even the only person in the theater. Since I lived in the country, and not far from several small towns. I knew that meeting someone new would be difficult. But my son and his wife had met on a dating website, and so I had hoped that perhaps I could do the same. My social life improved immediately as my box filled up, and I was no longer lonely. I had someone to talk with. Over the next 2 years, I chatted or texted with over 200 men. At least I think they were men. I met 50 of these men in person after I decided that they were worth at least meeting. Out of those 200, I chose only 5 to date for a short or longer period of time. But even those didn't work out for the long term for one reason or another. I remember all of them very well, and I still hear from them occasionally, but I am no longer available. I share this with you so that you will believe me when I tell you that I know what it is like to be lonely. I know what it feels like to journey through the internet looking for a match. I know what it feels like to go to a restaurant to eat by yourself. It's not really a good feeling, and we are lonely. I hope that what I share in this book will give you hope that you may find someone also to share the rest of your life with, and that the book will give you courage to move forward into an adventure of the new era of dating. I learned through my years online a process that, if done correctly and with patience, works. And I will help you learn the process so you can avoid my mistakes and I will share the insights I learned the hard way as I traveled through the experience. Please allow me to help prepare you for the journey to the next chapter of your life. I know and understand that the idea of dating, again, can feel like swimming in uncharted waters. But I can tell you that the end result is well worth the effort. You know, the world has changed. The world is different than it was when we were young. And it has evolved, and we need to accept the changes and adapt, or learn how to adapt and move forward ourselves. Just a few years ago, we might have met our loved one at work or at church or the neighborhood store, or maybe we met them on a blind date set up by our friends. But those days are gone now. So how and where do we look for and meet someone new if we are desiring to do so? You guessed it, online. Please join with me in reading this book as we explore these issues. Number 1, how dating has changed since our early 20s. Number 2, why internet dating is an excellent choice for seniors to meet and connect. 3, how to begin the process of preparing your online presence. And 4, understand the best and the worst about online dating. Chapter 1, understanding today's dating landscape. The evolution of dating from traditional to digital. Dating has always been a dynamic process that is influenced by cultural, social, and technological changes. In the past, meeting a potential partner was often a matter of proximity and shared social circles. So, how did you meet your first love? No doubt it was probably through mutual friends or at a community event, church, work, a local coffee shop, or in your neighborhood. These were popular ways of connecting until more recent times. The world has changed in so many ways, and so have our social structures. Today, people are more mobile, communities are more fragmented, and traditional social circles may not provide the same opportunities to find a connection that they once did. With the entrance of the internet, the digital age brought about powerful tools for bridging gaps, bringing people together, and expanding the possibilities of finding love. Online dating has become increasingly popular, and many people of all ages have met their new partners using internet dating sites or social media. Online dating offers an easy and unique opportunity to connect with others who share similar values, interests, and life experiences. Whether you are looking for love, companionship, someone simply to share your time with, online dating offers a world of possibilities. Online dating is perfect for seniors? Because, well, perhaps you are wondering, is online dating really for me? That answer depends. It can be a resounding yes, or it could be no. I don't know. I'm not God. However, I know it has worked for many people and it worked for me. So I believe it could be an excellent option for you. Why? Well, I'm going to tell you why. Number one, as we get older, our social circles shrink. Friends move away and opportunities to meet people become more limited. Online dating allows you to connect with a wide range of individuals, many of whom you would never have met otherwise. Number two, online dating platforms enable you to search for people at your convenience without even leaving your home. Three, computers offer potential candidates based on shared interests, values, and goals. This means you can search for someone who enjoys the same hobbies that you do, or has a similar life experience, or is looking for the same type of personality as you. Four, online dating allows you to set your own pace. You can take your time getting to know someone before deciding to meet in person. This gives you more control. Number five, you are no longer limited to dating within your immediate area. Online dating websites allow you to connect with people from different towns, cities, or even countries. This will allow you to broaden your horizon and increase your chances of finding a great match. And six, online dating enables you to browse profiles, send messages, and arrange dates at your own convenience. Perhaps you're an early riser or a night owl. Computers and the internet allow you to engage with others whenever it suits you, and you don't have to leave your cozy home. Dispelling myths and misconceptions. Despite the many benefits of online dating, there are still some misconceptions and common myths that people may have. Let's consider them. One, many people think online dating is only for the young. Younger generations embrace online dating. But statistics are showing that seniors are now one of the fastest growing groups on these platforms. The truth is that many people over 50 are now turning to online dating in search of meaningful connections, whether they're looking for love, companionship, or friendship. And a lot of them have found exactly what they seek. Two, many people think online dating is too complicated for them. Technology can be intimidating, and many seniors are not tech savvy. However, most online dating platforms are designed to be user friendly. And with a little help from a knowledgeable friend or relative, you'll find that navigating the platforms is easier than you think. Here's a tip number one. I suggest you begin right away to explore the different dating websites to see how they work and if they meet your needs. There are many designed to connect seniors and will allow you to take a look for free. Number three, perhaps you've heard online dating is not safe. Safety is a legitimate concern, but online dating can be safe if you take the right precautions. In another chapter, I will give some red flags to help you discern the real from the fake and some tips to help you stay online when meeting in person. How to protect your personal information and ensure your safety is very important. So pay attention to the red flags. Number four, many people think online dating is just for casual relationships. There are many reasons why people are online dating sites. Some are looking for casual encounters. Some only want someone to chat with. Some hope to get laid, but many are looking for a serious long-term relationship, just like you. Your profile is your online introduction, and in order to find good matches, you must be perfectly clear in stating your interests, your goals, and desired attributes. Tip number two, start now to prepare a list of qualities that you are looking for and list your interests, your goals, and your intentions. You may also want to consider your values, your boundaries, your deal breakers. You don't have to write those in your profile, but it's a good thing to be sure what it is that you value. Taking the first step. The first step is successful or in successful long online dating is to have a positive mindset. And the second is to maintain that positive attitude throughout the experience. Before embarking on the experience, make up your mind that you're going to stay positive and be open to new possibilities. Be willing to explore different ways of meeting people and getting to know them. Look upon this as a new and exciting adventure, one that allows you to meet people who share your interests, know what they're looking for, desire a connection, companionship, or love, just as you. And remember, it is never too late for love. Welcome to the new era of dating. My friends, that is the end of chapter one. I hope it wasn't too bad. Oh, as I'm reading along and reading my own words, I never can read it through without making some edits and changing. And then that's the downfall of being an author, I think, is when you put it in paper, it looks different. When you read it over again, especially when you read it aloud, it sounds even different than what you meant. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed that reading, and I hope that you will order my book when it becomes available. Again, um, as I said, I have a habit of revising, and revising. So let's see. Have we um, received any calls today? No, I guess not. I would like to. One of my chapters that I'm getting in my, that is in my book is facing the fear of rejection and anxiety. And so I was looking into, yeah, maybe that keeps us from doing some things that we really would like to do sometimes. And it, it's just, I think I've got a few minutes here that I just might even talk about it a little bit. What is rejection? Or what is the fear of rejection? I think everybody knows what rejection is. When the dictionary said it is a dismissing or refusing of an idea or proposal. Okay, so you've made a statement. You've asked somebody to go out with you on a date, and you've asked someone to dance with you at a dance, and they said no. Well, those are the rejections, I guess, that I have faced in the last few years. And yes, there's going to be rejections. You're not going to match with everybody that you like their looks in their profile when you're looking at them on the dating site. You're not going to like everybody. And even sometimes the ones that you like, they're looking for something else, and that's okay. So I'm going to tell you before you even start that yes, you will be rejected, probably. Will it hurt? If you let it. Um, Here's another definition I got out of the rejection is the act of refusing to accept, use, believe someone or something. It can be defined as the act of pushing someone or something away. It can be experienced on a large scale or in a small way, everyday life. It involves being excluded from social relationship or interaction, and the rejection can be active or passive. But then, they gave some words that mean about the same thing, like refusal. That I thought, let's see, where was it? A brush off? Okay. Repudiation? I wasn't so sure about that one. Spurn and bounce, exclusion. All of those words, I think, kind of, especially that exclusion, if we want to be a part of a certain group and we're excluded. Yeah, it hurts. Rejection can cause us to feel a slew of emotions, ranging from confusion, wondering why they didn't agree to do what we wanted, to sadness because they didn't agree with us, and rage. Oftentimes, people don't understand why they've been rejected, and this can lead to a downward spiral of negative introspection and an overall sense of not feeling good enough. And, you know, I don't, well, not good enough. Is that imposter syndrome? We have this little voice inside of us that is not very nice to us, usually. And maybe it's telling us that you can't do something, or you shouldn't do something, or what was wrong with me that they turned me down. And the more we think about and worry about what they said and whether it's true or not, the worse we're going to feel. It's like you're going to go spiraling. So it affects everything we do practically after we have received a rejection for a while, if we let it. That's why I guess we fear rejection, is because it does make us feel that we aren't good enough. It does make us feel that we are lacking in something. So how do we recover from something like that? Well, in my book, I talk a little about that, and maybe I simplified it too much. I printed some pages from Talkspace about why rejection hurts as much as it does, and it gives 10 ways of coping with this. I don't know. One of the ways I just saw was allow yourself to feel the emotion of sadness for a while, process it, and but just bottling up is not going to do you any good. So at some point, you're going to have to tell yourself, pick yourself up and dust yourself off, and hey, I'm better than that. I don't care, and go on. Next is a good word. What's next? Um, Another saying that I liked was when life hands you lemonade, or no, when life hands you a lemon, what do? You make lemonade, and you like that. So uh, allow yourself to feel sad for a little while, and then get on with your life. Maybe that's what you do. Spend time with those people that accept you and like you. That make you feel better. Um, but practice self-love and self-care. Take care of yourself. Write down maybe all the things. I was feeling down a few about a year or so ago, and with I made some comment to my daughter that, oh, I just feel I want to change the world. I want to make a difference in the lives of other people, but I don't know. I don't know what the good is that I have done. And my daughter says, "Mom, you have done a lot of good and memorable things in your life. So make a list of those. You start thinking about what was it, what are the things that you did." And she she reminded me of a time when she was only about 2 years old, three maybe. She was walking and talking, and I took her to my husband and I took her for a ride. We went down into Detroit actually at that time. There's a park that kind of, I think it juts out or is an island just outside or just inside the city of Detroit. And I had never been there, so we took a drive around this park. And then the kids were getting restless, and so we stopped and walked around a little bit. And she saw a playground, swings and slides and sand and all of that. And she ran over and was looking forward to swinging. And a little boy threw a rock at her. It wasn't a big rod, It hurt, but it didn't do any damage. But she came, running, and I came running to pick her up, and what happened? And she told me, and I looked at the little boy. He was standing across the sand, very defiantly, and then he ran away, and he was black, and we were white. And now, so that was her first confrontation, her first meeting with a black person. And she said, "Mom, you remember what you told me?" And I said, "Well, yeah, I guess I do remember the incident." But she told me, how did she possibly remember when she was at least no older than 3? But she remembered that I told her about the blacks and how they are mistreated a lot. And that little boy was probably had been treated badly in his life, and he thought all whites were to blame. And so he had an opportunity to send a little bit of hurt to a white person. It's a shame, but when you realize, she said, "Mom, you made me, that was a good lesson that you gave me, even at that young age." So that got me thinking, and I started, when I got home, I started writing. I said, "Yeah, okay, I did this and I did that." Did I feel bad anymore? No, I didn't actually. I started feeling better and got my goals, all my reminded of what I wanted to do and see, and so on. So is it a matter of changing your mindset, I guess, thinking about where you can go and what you can do to make your life better, maybe make other people's lives better, and you work toward that. Rejection, fear of rejection is a natural part of our lives. And there was a saying I heard this morning, even, that um, our strength is there in our ability to bounce back. Our strength lies in being resilient, maybe. Anyway, so that's the philosophy of Shelby Wagner today. Let me see if there's anything else here about what many ways to treat psychological wounds that rejection inflicts. But it's possible to treat the emotional pain and prevent other emotional and relationship fallouts. Talk to your doctor if you need something to help you feel better. Don't go to and buy these illegal drugs on the street, because they're not going to help you in the long run. They might make you feel good at the time, but they're not going to help you in the long run. You need help with your self-esteem. You need help getting back your positive mindset. So let's see. Is there, I guess I'm kind of running out of things to say here. I'll tell you that my books are available on Amazon right now. Are Learning to Dance in the Rain, which is about surviving grief, internet dating, and romance scams. And then my second book was Scams, a Resource Guide. And in that one, it details over 150 different scams that you can avoid if you know that they are there. And yeah, it's probably not a very interesting book to read, but hey, it is educational. And if it keeps you from losing money, then it's worth the $5 or $6. I think you can get it for $1.99 on Kindle right now. And then my Finding Love Again, a senior's guide to online dating, will be available within the next 2 weeks in print and hardcover and Kindle. So let's see. Let's see. Dance in the learning to dance in the rain. People say, "Oh, Shelby, I don't like to dance." Well, if you take that saying, life is not about waiting for the storm to pass. It's about learning to dance in the rain. It's about doing something good, something more fun, even though you may be grieving, even though you may not feel so good. In fact, I have this philosophy, I think that's what you call it. If you're dating, and not dating, but dieting, if you're dieting, oh, that's a pain for me because the food I'm supposed to eat, I don't like. I don't like asparagus. I don't like carrots, make me itch. But sometimes, we have to eat them. We have to take them because they're good for us. So anyway, think about what you can do better. What would might get you out of the house and out meeting other people. Maybe join a class, take a class in something. Maybe call a friend and go bowling or shoot pool. Maybe you can do those things. Maybe volunteering will help you. But get out and start doing something. The dance is whatever the activity is that you want to do, that you like to do, and get you exercise. So I invite you to come back next Tuesday at noon. Pastor Carl will be back again, and we're going to continue our discussion about true love and maybe soulmates again. I hope that you will come back and that you would tell somebody about my show and join us here. And I'd love to hear from you. Just write me at Shelby Wagner, author, @gmail.com. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you again next week. Bye.